Think you're a master of language. Have you ever noticed how the same word can feel completely different depending on who says it? We're diving into the surprising emotional weight words carry. Get ready to see the hidden power in everyday language, and you'll never look at a simple phrase the same way again. The invisible power of words. Have you ever noticed how a single word can completely change how you feel? We're going to explore how the situation you hear a word in, what we call its context, shapes what it really means. Words aren't just empty labels. They carry hidden emotional baggage with them, like an invisible suitcase of feelings and past experiences. Even simple, everyday words can become powerful, depending on how they are used. Think about the word fine. If a friend says I'm fine with a sigh, it feels like a dismissal. If a doctor says your tests are fine, it's a relief. And if someone agrees to a plan with a cheerful fine, it feels genuine. The word itself didn't change. What changed was the emotional landscape around it, the tone, the relationship, and the moment. This is the invisible power every word holds. The contextual chameleon. Have you ever heard the word challenge? It's the same word, but it feels very different depending on where you hear it. In a job interview, when someone says, "We face exciting new challenges," it sounds positive. It suggests growth and opportunity. In a personal relationship, if a person says, "You're being a challenge right now," it feels difficult and negative. The word doesn't change. What changes is the world around it, the context. This makes words act like chameleons, shifting their emotional color to match their surroundings. Another great example is the simple phrase, "no problem." When you thank a friendly server at a restaurant and they say "no problem," with a smile, it feels helpful and kind. But if you ask someone for a small favor and they reply with a flat, sighing "no problem," it can feel dismissive, like you've bothered them. Again, the words are identical. The tone and the situation give it its real meaning. This shows us something important. A word's power doesn't come from its dictionary definition. It comes from its immediate environment, the person saying it, the way they say it, and where it's said. The meaning lives in the space around the word, not just in the word itself. Micro shifts, macro impact. Words can cause big emotional reactions with tiny, almost invisible changes. It happens all the time, and we often miss the cues if we're not paying attention. Let's start with a simple adjective. Imagine you're part of a team project. Someone describes your idea as an interesting approach. Now, imagine they call it a bold approach. The core idea is the same, but the single swapped word, interesting versus bold, flips the feeling. Interesting can sound hesitant or unsure. Bold sounds confident and brave. One small shift changes the whole story. Next, look at where a word is placed, or even where a comma goes. Where it sits in a sentence changes its power completely. A woman without her man is weak. A woman without her man is weak. These two sentences use the exact same words, but the different punctuation creates two opposite meanings about who depends on whom. The placement of the pause changes everything. You can also see this in a phrase like "she didn't say he was smart." She didn't say he was smart. Maybe someone else did. She didn't say he was smart, but maybe she implied it. She didn't say he was smart, but she said someone else was. The sentence is the same, but by simply stressing or placing the focus on a different word, the entire meaning changes. This proves that a single term holds huge power. Its surroundings, the punctuation, the words next to it, the speaker's tone, act like a stage. On that stage, a word can be an actor that uplifts a friend, offends a colleague, or misleads an audience. A small, subtle tweak in the landscape can create a major change in impact. The art of intentional lexicon. Language is a tool, and like any tool, you can use it better when you understand how it works. This is about learning to wield your words with purpose, knowing the emotional weight they carry. Think of it like this. Words are not just neutral facts. They are little packages of emotional resonance. They can sound warm, sharp, serious, or playful. The word inexpensive feels different than affordable, even if they describe the same price. Choosing consciously helps you shape how people feel. The big goal is to match your words to your true intention, so you're not misunderstood. Here are simple strategies. Be specific. Instead of saying something was good, ask, was it helpful, impressive, reliable, or delightful? The more precise you are, the harder it is for people to misinterpret you. Pause and swap. Before you send an important message, read it out loud. If a word feels like it could be taken the wrong way, swap it. Swap demanding for high standard or stubborn for dedicated. Finally, you can tailor your language for who you're talking to and what you want to achieve. Professional, aim for clarity and respect. Use words like collaborate, address, and objective. Focus on the shared goal. Personal here, warmth and connection matter more. Use words that share feelings like appreciate, understand, or celebrate. Your tone is your biggest tool. By practicing this, you stop letting words just happen. You start choosing them, building bridges of understanding instead of accidental walls, navigating your lexical landscape. So here's the most important takeaway from everything we've explored. The words you choose and where you use them have a profound influence. They don't just share information, they build a bridge of connection, or, if you're not careful, a wall of misunderstanding. The tiny choice between calling a task difficult or an interesting puzzle can change someone's entire attitude. That's the power you hold in your everyday language. Now, here is our challenge to you. Pay closer attention. For the next day, listen to the words you use and the words you hear. Notice when a single word makes you feel suddenly defensive or surprisingly seen. Notice when someone's tone changes a simple okay from agreement to frustration. We want to hear what you discover. Words are a shared landscape we all live in. Let's talk about it. What word has completely changed meaning for you based on the situation? Share your own experience in the comments below.